Alien Covenant is directed by Ridley Scott and stars Michael Fassbender, Katherine Waterston and Danny McBride, and is a sequel to 2012's Prometheus. Basically follows a group of colonists who are going to a planet to colonise, but on the way they encounter a distress signal which takes them towards another planet which looks fit for human life, and there shit goes down, as you've probably seen in the trailers. I am one of the few people in the world that actually quite enjoyed Prometheus. I liked what it was trying to do. I enjoyed that it was a departure from Alien. I love Alien, I love Aliens. I quite enjoy Alien 3 as well, but Prometheus was a completely different film. It was a different type of film. It wasn't trying to be so much a prequel to Alien as its own film with its own kind of mythology. So having liked Prometheus, I was quite pumped for Alien Covenant. As I said, I liked Prometheus, I loved Alien and Aliens, two of my favourite films of all time. The trailers showed that it would introduce the Xenomorph back into the franchise and got everyone pumped for it going back to its horror roots. And it kind of did, and it kind of didn't. Visually, this film is stunning. As with pretty much all Ridley Scott films, it's shot so beautifully and the effects are superb in it. They blend seamlessly the CGI with the practical effects that he did for this film, and I believe a lot of it was practical. The world that he's created is beautiful to look at, and the creature designs are always phenomenal with this franchise. They are creepy, eerie. The Xenomorph is the ultimate movie monster. It's perfectly designed and terrifying in pretty much every single way. The acting is pretty spot on as well. Michael Fassbender especially commands the screen. He draws your attention in every scene that he's in, and in this film he plays dual roles of David and Walter, two androids that look alike but are very different. And Michael Fassbender is one of my favourite actors at the moment. He is phenomenal in everything that he does, pretty much, so he really does perfect this. And there are a couple of scenes that are standouts, especially when the two androids that he's playing are interacting with each other. It's just outstanding work from him. There are some genuinely creepy and genuinely terrifying moments in this film. The trailers made it out to be a full-on horror film, or at least going back to the type of thriller terror that Alien and Aliens had. Obviously Aliens is more action, but it was still eerie and creepy at times, and the trailers made this out to be along those same lines, horror being the predominant genre that this was going to fit into. It's not all that way. There are only a few moments that I would say are horror, mainly in the back end of the film, but when it does try to do horror, it does do it well. Ridley Scott does know how to use these creatures and terrify the audience, and I think it's done really well in this film when it comes about. There are also some truly horrifying gory bits in there, and I enjoyed it. I love a bit of gore, mate. But that leads me on to the tone of the film. It's kind of a tonal mess. It's a bit all over the place. They're trying to bridge the gap between Prometheus and Alien, and this is somewhere in between, but it can't make its mind up what it wants to be, and it kind of then just fails at being good at either. Don't get me wrong, I did like this film. I did really enjoy this film, but that's one thing that didn't really gel with me, was the mixture in being this mystery kind of adventure as such, mixed in with the horror. It just, they should have chosen one and stuck with it and just kind of filtered in the other one bit by bit. And the main thing that really got to me in this film was the story. The plot wasn't what I wanted it to be at all. It's a lot more like Prometheus, this film, than Alien. As I said, the second half, I'd probably maybe even say just the third act, is a bit more Alien. The rest of it is Prometheus, but to the extreme. And they do discuss the origin of the xenomorph in this, and you kind of see they try and answer all these questions about the origin of the xenomorph, how it came to be, and kind of show all that. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I didn't really like it. I didn't like their explanation. First of all, it still doesn't make sense. I'm still confused and don't really understand what's going on. But secondly, it was answering questions that I didn't have. I don't really care about the origin of the xenomorph. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm going to say xenomorph. I didn't really want to know the origins. For them, they're much better when they're just this mysterious killing machine. You don't need to know how they were created. Now, I had a lot of questions from Prometheus, as I think everyone did. No one really knew what was going on. Nothing was explained in that film, really. It just gave you more questions. This film doesn't really answer those questions for you. Any questions that I had from Prometheus weren't really answered in this. All I took away from this was more questions and answers to questions that I didn't have and I didn't care about. So I did leave disappointed on that side of it. And then, along with the story, the characters weren't fantastic. I was fascinated by David and Walter. They were the two main characters for me. The crew members, I wasn't all that fussed about. The acting was great. The acting was outstanding. Danny McBride was actually a standout in this film, which surprised me, and I think surprised everyone else. But the lead character, Daniels, played by Katherine Waterston, she didn't do it for me, really. I feel like Ridley Scott is trying to find his new Ripley. He's trying to get what he got out of Sigourney Weaver in the original film, in the original Alien, and she became an icon for that role, and the Alien franchise wouldn't be what it is today without Ripley. She is a fantastic character. She's a well-rounded character. I love her. A lot of other people love her. But we had Noomi Rapace in Prometheus, and I feel like because that wasn't well received, he decided to scrap her and replace her with Daniels, who again doesn't really work for me. She's not fleshed out, she's not great, she does make some stupid decisions. I don't know, she just didn't have that spark for me. She wasn't that Ripley character for me in this film, and I would like to see, because he's already said that he's going to do numerous sequels to this, and I would be interested to see if he's just going to replace her in the next film with another strong female lead until he finds his Ripley 2.0, which I don't think he is ever going to. But all in all, I know I've said a lot of negative things about it, and it did really disappoint me, this film, but it's a well-made film. It does have a decent plot in there somewhere. It's the other bits that just annoy me. The origin story of the xenomorph and a lot of other things just weren't what I wanted it to be. But it's still well done. It's still got great acting in it. There are a couple of characters that are standouts in there, and it is scary. It did terrify me in bits, and the character designs are still phenomenal. Obviously the neomorph and the xenomorph are fantastic. I will say that the trailers do this film an injustice. I think people were probably more disappointed with this film because of the trailers and what they made it out to be, but overall it is a decent film, and I'm still going to give it 78 out of 100, which is a B. So yeah, I know this review is delayed. it came out a while ago, this film, but I wanted to do a review about it. I was planning on doing a long video about it, but I just couldn't get the focus right of what I wanted to talk about, so I just thought I'd do a review. And I'm doing more reviews soon for films that I'm just playing catch up with, like Wonder Woman and The Mummy, so keep an eye out for those. And yeah, let me know if you've seen Alien Covenant, what you thought of it in the comments below. Did you like it? What did you think of the origin story of the Xenomorph? Obviously no spoilers, please. But yeah, thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you very soon. Bye!